Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Keith with Craps TX. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Time to get back at it. I'm filming this actually on Monday, January the 5th. I had some other footage, but realized I made a few mistakes. So rather than try to correct over them the entire video, I figured I'd just reshoot the video. So anyway, like I said, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Hope the year is off to a good start for you. So far, so good with us. So we're just going to keep on putting these strategies out and get ready for our cruise at the end of this month. I believe they're going to have probably a $15 or even a $25 table from what I understand. It's just one table on the Carnival Jubilee. And I guess it just depends on the amount of players they have or pit boss's discretion as far as, what they're going to run the table minimum at. But I'm going to run some $15 strategies. I may try a few 25s, before we leave to go on that. But let's go ahead and get this first one done. Before we get started, let's hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that bell for notifications, and that way you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Also, I'd like to thank our partners. First of all, we have pokerchipmania.com right there. Go check out their site. You can get all kinds of different chips. They have clay, ceramic, and composite chips, kind of like that, which I always show. And also, they've started carrying the 19mm dice once again. You just scroll down on the homepage, find the craps section, click on it, and it'll take you to that section, obviously. And they do have some other supplies for your home casino game infotainment. Also, they have a discount for our viewers, and we'd like to thank them very much for that. Right here, Craps TX10. If you enter that in at checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire order. So please go check out the folks over at pokerchipmania.com. Support a small business, and tell them Keith sent you with Craps TX. All right, moving right along. Secondly, I'd like to also thank gripmats.etsy.com. They have these kind of mat casino game tables. They've got this one in a deluxe model, which is this one that has the hop bets and the all tall smalls and the C&E. I'm not sure what's on the regular one. I'd have to go back and look at the site. I just know when I saw this one, I'm like, yep, that's the one I want, and that's the one that I got. But really nice mats. They're kind of almost like a little bit thinner mouse pad material, but still very sturdy and also water resistant. If you check out their site at gripmats.etsy.com, they do have several pictures, and they've got a little video where they show pouring water on it, how it beads up, and you can just wipe it right off. They also have some other casino games, blackjack, poker, baccarat, and like I said, the two different kinds of the craps layout. They've also got some other materials. I'm sorry. I just had a fly right by my face. They've got some Marvel mats, Dune, also Star Wars, licensed product. That was kind of the word I was looking for also. And then they have over 300 different kinds of game mats and parts and pieces for your home gaming pleasure. So if you have a game enthusiast in your life, or if you're one yourself, go check them out at gripmats.etsy.com. And once again, they are a partner of our channel. And also they do have some rolling discounts at any given time. Just click on some of the various items. Sometimes they'll run it on the whole site. Sometimes they'll run it on individual products. But go check out what you are looking for and see if they have a discount on it right now. So again, thank you to them over at gripmats.etsy.com for partnering with us, and go out and support another small business. All right, let's move on to the strategy this time. So what I'm going to call this is, and it's just kind of a basic strategy, but we're going to call it the hedge to get the edge. How about that? So putting a little spin on it and making a little rhyme time with it. First of all, we're at a $15 table. We're going to start out with $800. I've got 5, 6, 7, 50, 75, and 8. We'll get that racked up and out of the way. What we're going to do, we're going to play a little don't pass. We're going to play the don't pass line, and we're also going to play inside just a little bit, but we're going to hedge with that don't pass. So let's say we'll just start out basic and play like the 6 and 8. So a $15 table, that's going to be $18. So that's your 3 red and 3 white. So to hedge for that, I mean, obviously before that even happens, you have to play your don't pass bit. We're going to place $40 on the don't pass. So that is kind of hedging against this 36. So, you know, if we can hit a few of these and then big red comes, well, we also will make our little bit of money that way as well. Plus, even on the come out roll, you can win on the 2 or 3. It's a push on the 12, but you do lose on the 7 or 11. So let's just go ahead and get started and roll through it. Like I said, it's just kind of a basic strategy, but playing the don't pass instead of the pass. I'm not sure how exactly they grade that on a Carnival cruise, but we'll try it and see. Make sure they don't, you know, do it as like kind of a Contra type thing where you're playing, you know, dark side money against light side money. I'm still putting $76 out there, you know, in that instance. So we'll just see how they rate that. Anyway, let's get started. Let's put our money on the don't pass. Like I said, we're going to put $40 on that. Well, I think so. Yep, there we go. There's $40 on the don't pass. And we are going to come out looking for a point. Nicer out. And we have a ace deuce. There we go. That's a good one. 3 gets paid on the don't pass. So that 40 is going to get paid 40, 1 to 1. All right, so we'll just set that aside. We'll move that a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know I had to move my table back into the other room that I normally have it in, and my camera angle looks like it's a little bit different, but I think I got the table and everything pretty much in the same place. Nice out. Back to back, ace deuce. Let's hit it again. Here's another 40 bucks. Now's a good time to just walk away. You are $80 up, and yeah, we're gonna cash that in real quick, color it up. You're 80 bucks ahead and looking pretty good. Still looking for a point. Nicer out. I spoke too soon. Don't ever get greedy because it'll take it right back from you. All right, so we're going to lose that 40, so I'm just going to take it out of my bank over here. There's 50, and I'll get 10 back. So we lost 40. You lose on the 7 and 11. So we're basically, you know, we lost that, and we're just essentially replacing it. Nice out. Still looking for a point. So we're going to just back-to-back lose our 40 and 40. So that's it, man. C'est la vie. All right, dice out. There we go. Let's get a point. 628. All right, so it's just like nothing happened. We have the 40 out there and nothing happened. 2 threes and 2 big reds and we're done. All right, so now we're going to play the 6 and 8. Well, actually, we don't have to play. I mean, you are kind of betting against yourself there. You know, if you hit that point, you lose that. But at the same time, you win what little bit you have on there. So we can do that still. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule that says, no, you can't do that. So let's go ahead and throw $36 out there. We'll throw 40. Or what you could do also is just play like the 6 and the 9 or the 6 and the 5. It's entirely up to you what you want to do at that point. You're still hedged. But let's just go ahead and try playing the 6 and 8 first. There's 40. We'll play 36 out there. We'll get $4 and change. And let's get set up on the 8. I've seen it done both ways with various different channels, even some on the same channel where they've done it this way, and then they also play it the other way where they pick up, you know, the number next to it instead. So we're just going to run it like this, maybe for a shooter or two, and see how it works, and then we'll switch it up if things are not going our way. Dice out. There's a 5, 4, 9. Okay, so that would have helped us if we would have played that 9. Dice out. There's a 6, 4, 10. Dice are out, and a 3, 1, 4. That's always the good thing about playing the 6 and 8. The dice will hit every other number except for the ones that you're on. Dice out. There's a hard 10. We're just going to keep on going all around that 6 and 8, doing a little dance. Make a little low, get down tonight. And there is a 3 craps. Ace deuce. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt in that instance. It's only on that come out roll. There's another 6, 3, 9. And dice are out once again. There is another 3 craps. That seems to be a popular number. Should be playing the field with all these 3s and 9s and everything else. And there is big red. All right, so we're going to lose this. But we did hedge with that don't pass. So that 40 is going to pay us 40, 1 to 1. And then we are on to the next shooter. That will go off. We're always playing that don't pass, so it doesn't matter if we're the shooter or not. We're always just going to have that money out there. We'll just take that 4-2-6 and see if that does anything. We'll rack this money, get that out of the way. We've got our 40 out there already. And we are coming out looking for a point. Dice are out. Looky, no more cookie. All right, so that is a 4-3-7. We're going to lose 40. At this point, you can either martingale if you want to, or just bump it up a little bit, bump it up to 60 maybe. You don't have to go the full 80. Or you can just leave it as is, and let's hope we make it back. Dice out. Or we can just keep giving it away, giving it away now. There is $40 back out of our bankroll. And things are not looking too rosy. But now we have a point. There is a 4-1-5. 5 will be our point. And we throw out the $40, or in this case, 50 to play 36. So we'll get 14 and change. There's 14. And we're going to play $36, so that's 18 on the 6 and 18 on the 8 out of the fallen pile there. 1, 2, 3, and 3. And there we go. We got 36 out. We got 40 to hedge on this don't pass. And we're hoping for a 6 and an 8 this time instead of dancing all around. Dice out. Well, you are not going to get it. There is a 5-2 and we're through. $36 down the drain. And it is a swirler too, just going right on down. But we do win that 40 back there, so we've got that. That is the one thing about that playing that don't pass. You do have a little bit of a hedge. There's well, we'll keep those. We're not going to change those out just yet. All right, let's get us another set of dice. Move on to, I believe, shooter number 3. And there's a 6-2-8. We'll take that. All right, looking for a point. Dice are coming out. There's another 4-1-5. Same point as last time. And we'll throw out $36 and just make it an even Steven there. Dealer, please set me up on the 6 and the 8 for 18 each. And they will get it done. It has actually been a while since I've played on my table with the holidays and people coming over in and out. It's just been kind of a wild ride with those holidays in the middle of the week. There is a hard 4, nothing there. Dice out. And a 5-3-8. All right. Hey, we finally got some point or some money off those points. Not points, but the place bets. All right. So that pays 21. We can either press or we can collect. We're just going to collect at this point. We're going to keep that easy. If we can build up our bankroll a little bit, we'll start playing a little bit more aggressive. Maybe pick up some other numbers, which we can still pick up other numbers right now. Kind of spread out a little bit, but we can also keep it where it's at. There's another 5-3-8 and another $21. Make you hollers. We'll take that. Whoa. And we'll color up a little bit as we go. There's 5 for a green, and dice are coming out. There's a 4-1-5. All right, that's point hit. All right, that is good and bad. Good, I don't know how, but it's bad because we're going to lose our don't pass. So, good, I guess, because we still keep our 6 and 8 out there, but we got to replace that don't pass. So we'll throw another 40 out there and wait for a new point to be set. Dice are out. We have our bets off. There is a good shot for us. That ace deuce, that's going to pay us 40 on that don't pass. Pays on the 2 and the 3. Push on the 12, and you lose on big red and 11. Yo, 11. There's a 6-2-8. All right, that's going to be our point. Our bets were not working, so we are not going to get paid on that, but now we are rolling. Like I said, we can move this. Let's try that this time. We'll go ahead and move it over. Dealer, please move me over to the 9. They'll give you your $3 back. And now you're not, contradicting yourself or, making a little bit of money. Well, see, there we go. Doesn't matter anyway. We would have won a little bit if we kept that 18 on there. We would have won 21, and then we lose 40. There's a hard 8, so we're going to lose that. You lose your point money. Point stays, or the puck goes off, rather. We do have to put another don't pass out there. We could martingale it up, or we can just leave it at 40. We're going to leave it at 40. Dice out. And our new point is 9. Okay, dealer's going to say, what you want to do with this? Let's move it over to the 8. Okay, well, throw me $3. Throw them the $3 that I gave you back last time, and you are back set on the 6 and the 8, and you're hedged. And there's a 5, 4, 9. So not only is Big Red shooting us in the foot sometimes, but now these points are shooting us in the foot. So that takes care of that. And out with another 40. Yeehaw. Always good to see those stacks getting smaller, he said sarcastically. Dice are coming out looking for a new point. There is a 4, 3, 7. That is not a point. So we're going to lose that 40. I'm just going to throw out 50. I'll get 10 and change. And we are covered back on the don't pass. All right, we're looking for a 2, 3, or any kind of box number over here. There we go. Aces in both places, and we get our $40 back. Pays 1 to 1, and there we go. Dice are coming out. And we're going to give it right back. So it's just take and give, give and take, give and take. So we're going to lose that 40. We place it back out there again. We're set back up. Dice are coming out. 5, 1, 6. All right, 6 will be our new point. Dealer's going to say, what you want to do with this? Please move it over to the 5. He'll hand you back your $3. And you are set and ready to go. Dice out. There is a hard 10. Nothing there. Puppy paws. And we have ace deuce. It doesn't do anything during the normal course of play once the puck is on. And there's aces. Again, same thing. Doesn't do anything. Just a craps number. Doesn't help us. Doesn't hurt us because we're not doing anything right there. But that does hurt. This 5, 2, 7. It hurts because we lose this. But it's not so bad because we're going to get 40 back on that don't pass. All right. So we're going to move on to the next shooter. I think we still got time. Yeah, we're about 17 minutes in. I think we're okay. 16 and a half minutes, something like that. All right, there's 5, 3, 8. We'll take that. So we got our 40 back out there, and we're setting up, I believe we're shooter number 4. And that's bouncing all over the place, right off the puck and everything. All right, 6 is going to be our point. No dancing around for the first 3 throws or 4 throws or whatever. So now we're going to put out $36. Well, actually, we're not going to play the 6. So let's go ahead and throw out 15. Put me 15 on the 5. And then put me 18 on the 8, please. With proper English and everything. Put me 18 on the 8. All right, dice out. There is a 5, 1, 6 again. Load gun, shoot self in foot, and lose your $40. There we go. So the don't pass is just kind of like the pass. If we were playing a pass line, it'd be going just the opposite way. I understand that and totally believe that. So now we got to put out another 40. Well, there's 50 because I don't have 40. So I'm going to get change. There is 5 for 5. We'll put 2 back. And now we got 40 back out on our don't pass. Dice are coming out. And there we go. Get a little bit back. A little bit, a lot of bit, same bit. There is 40. 3 craps pays on that don't pass. So that's good news. Still looking for a point. There's 4, 3, 7. Well, for any good news, get bad news right back. So we're going to lose that 40. And we're set up again looking for a point. And finally, we get a point. A 4, 1, 5. All right, dealer's going to say, what you want to do with that? Move it over to the 6. Give me $3. All right, there's $3. And we now have 18 and 18, 36. And we have the 40 to hedge on the don't pass. Dice are out. If we could win a little bit, I would spread out and show you a little bit more of what we could do. There's a 4, 2, 6. That is $21. So we're going to go ahead and just say same bet. Keep that. See if we can get a little bit of that money back. Dice out. Just kind of playing it easy. You know, since we just have 2 numbers out there, we're not trying to burn the world down. There is 5, 4, 9. Nothing there. And 5, 1, 6. All right, there's another hit. That is $21 coming back to us. Same bet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and color up as I go. There's 5 for a quarter. And there we go. All right, dice are out. 2 craps. All right, again, that doesn't do anything when the puck is on. We're not, penalized or awarded for playing the don't pass when that 2 craps comes out. There is a hard 4. Nothing going on there. Should be playing the field. All these numbers. Yeah, there's another field number. 5, 4, 9. Nothing on the 9. And a 4, 1, 5. Of course. Of course. You want to hit some points? Play the don't pass. Because it doesn't do you any good. All right, so we hit point. We lose our don't pass. And now we have to place that back out there again with what little bit we've won so far. Thankfully, we won a little bit. A little bit. All right, so we got 40 back out there on the don't pass. We are coming out looking for a new point. Same shooter. There is a 6, 4, 10. 10 will be our new point. Maybe we can stay away from it now. Dice out. Always good to kind of have one of those edge numbers out there. They don't hit as much. Only 2 ways to roll a 10. There is aces, and I'm throwing dice backwards. Dice out. All right, there is a 5, 4, 9. Nothing there. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt. And a 6, 2, 8. That helps. $21 coming to us for that 18 that we have on there. We're just going to say same bet. And we're going to cash in 5 singles because we're getting low over there for a nickel. And we got 5 nickels there. We'll just leave it. Dice out. And a 6, 1, 7. Okay, so we lose our 36. We did win a little bit at least. We hit a couple of times. We do win 40 for that don't pass. And then we're going to move on to the next shooter. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to kind of bump it up even though we haven't won a whole lot. Let's go ahead and let's bump it up to, let's say, what, 70? Let's bump it up to 70. Why? Because we're going to play 66 inside. So we got 2 green, 4 red. That is $70. On our don't pass, we're going to kind of take a little chance. Take a chance, take a chance. Take a chance on me. All right, we'll take that hard 8 right there. And looking for a point or a 2 or a 3. Nice out. There's a 6, 2, 8. 8 will be our point. Good and bad. So, yeah, normally we'd play the 66 inside. We still can. Like I said, we can play that 8. It's not, against the rules or anything to play that 8 just because you're playing the don't pass and you're going to lose. If you lose this, you lose this, but then you win whatever little bit you have bet here. So let's just go ahead and throw the 66 out there and quit talking, and we'll go from there. There is 106. Let's just throw that out there. That way we'll get 40 back. Well, I guess I didn't have to throw that nickel out there, did I? Well, makes the math a little easier, I guess. For some of us that are slightly dyslexic, there is 40 back. So we gave 106, so we can place our 66. That is 15 each, 3 chips, 3 units. And then another 3 white to cap off the 6 and the 8. So we have 66 inside. We have 70 on the don't pass as a hedge. Hedge to get the edge is what we're calling this one. There is a 3, 2, 5. We're just going to same bet our way out of here, hopefully. Hang on. Well, let's hear. I was going to grab some more red, but let's just cash some in real quick. There's 5 red for a green. And, okay, so 15 pays 21. That's why I did that. Pays 21 on that 5. So we're going to just go ahead and say same bet. Dice are out. There's a 6, 5. Yo, I think that's the first time we've rolled one of those. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt. There is a 3, 1, 4. No help. And another one, back-to-back 3, 1, 4s. And a 3, 2, 5. All right, so the 5 is helping us out finally for a change. So that 8, 15 is going to pay 21. All right, we're going to go ahead and kind of color up as we go. There's another nickel I just threw in from my rack. My rack, not my rack. We'll get a quarter for that. And keep on rolling. Nice out. Looks like we got a hot shooter. All right, we got 12 boxcars, 12 midnight. A lot of field numbers coming out. And there is another hard 4. And we have a 5, 1, 6. Don't know if that one dice hit the back wall. We'll probably get a warning. Sometimes they'll just say no roll. But my casino, it's okay. I just hit the back wall, shooter. Do that next time. 15 is going to pay 21. We're just going to same bet it. Since this is our first time playing the 66, we'll try to collect a little bit of that money back. Yes, pressing would help us out. There's 5 for a quarter, just so you guys know what I'm doing there. And we are going to keep on rolling. Dice are out. There is a 5, 4, 9. All right, the other end over here. 15 is going to pay 21. There's 21. We'll color up as we go. I'm going to throw in a nickel. No, you shouldn't do that in the course of play, but here I'm doing that just to kind of keep these stacks a little even over there and get my reds back as well. Nice out. And there's a hard 6. All right. There is 15 is going to pay 21. Well, again, we'll just same bet. Now, at any time, you can regress. You can pull these down. You don't have to keep them out there until, you know, until the inevitable comes. There is 5 white for a red. And we'll do 5 red for a green. How about that? Oh, there we go. There's 4 green for a black. We'll do that. All right, so we got $105 over there. We got 66 here. We got 70 hedging, little protection, and there that protection comes in handy. All right, 527. So we lose everything that's out here, the 66, but we win 70. So that is good news for us, and we'll just color up a little bit there. There's 5 red for a green, and we'll just keep these green as they are. We're going to put out another 70 for the next shooter. What time we got? Yeah, we'll get one more shooter in. This will be our last one. So there's 50. Just trying to show you a couple of different ways you could play that. And you could put, 120 out there and play 110 inside if you want. Just to play a little bit more high stakes. Not that that's high stakes for some people, but if you're playing at a $15 table and you got a limited bankroll, 110 might be a little rich, but you never know. You might just get a hot shooter. All right, so we have 70 there. We're going to go ahead and get a new set of dice. I don't know if I did that already, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. We'll take those box cars, and let's coming on out and looking for a point. And there we got it right away. Hard 8. 8 will be our point. We'll throw the 66 inside out there again and just keep playing it like that. 8 is kind of one of those popular numbers, but we did kind of dance around it a little bit on the last shooter and made a little bit of money before the inevitable. So there is 50, 65, and 6. Right. All right, so we'll get that set up. As I said, this will be the last shooter. Hedge to get the edge. Don't know what kind of edge we got. We might have got the cutting edge a couple of times there. More than a couple, really. All right, so we have 66 and then we have 70 to protect, and we are rolling the dice. And there is our protection, and we are done because I said that was going to be the last shooter, and it is. So the last shooter gained us a whole $4, but it's better than a stick in the eye. All right, let's get that 70 and pay on that don't pass. And there we go. And then we'll bring all this out and color it up and see what we got. The hedge to get the edge. As you can see, it's just a basic strategy. Instead of playing the pass line and going with the shooter, you don't want to cheer for the 7. That's one thing. Don't do that when you're playing the don't pass. Cheering for the 7, you're going to make some enemies. All right, color up. We don't need any there. There's 5 red. There's another 5 red, so that'd be 2 green right there. And then now let's color up our green. There's 4. We're good there. So that's 200. And let's see where we stand. We start out with 800. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not too bad. 750, 755, 6, 7, 8, 9. 759. So we had a little bit of fun and we lost $41. So if you call $41 fun, losing it, it's not. But you can see the potential there, just kind of like any other strategy. It all depends on the roll of the dice and your bankroll and money management. Like I said, we could have pulled down at any time and take that money off the table, even after like 3 or 4 hits. I think we had, 3 hits on that one shooter. We could have just pulled down and, put it back in our bankroll and just kind of let that shooter play out. You don't have to keep your money out there and let it, go against you. So let me know what you think down in the comments. The hedge to get the edge. And if you got any other suggestions, we're looking for $15 and $25 table suggestions just to kind of get in preparation for the cruise at the end of this month. And we're looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to hitting a table, hitting a casino. Haven't done that in a while. I'm actually going to get to film some slots. I got permission from Carnival to film slot machine play as long as I just film the screen. And I'll do that. I have a channel. It's called KnDFlips. KnDFlips. I'll just put it right there. I can put a link down below. I think I keep a link down below anyway. If you want to check that out. There's no new footage on there right now, but there will be coming in February. All right, so before we get out of here, once again, I'd like to thank our partners. We have pokerchipmania.com. Use that code CRAPSTX10 at checkout and get 10% off your order. And also gripmats.etsy.com for all of your gaming mat needs. Go check them out, and they also have some rotating discounts, percentage off, to help you out. So find a game, save a little money, and support a couple of small businesses. So that's going to do it for us. If you don't mind, before we get out of here, hit that thumbs up for us. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified when a new video comes out. This is CrapsTX. My name is Keith. I really appreciate you guys watching. It's been really fun putting these together, and we're looking forward to a great year in 2026. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.